Hello, my beautiful souls. You're listening to Ruby, and this is the Ruby Guiney Show. I'm not an LMC, doctor, financial, legal advisor. All choices are your own. We have this beautiful thing called free will, so let's use it, guys. I mean, this should be the year that we use our free will. And I recognize that. I understand that taking accountability for choices and decisions and that's hard. That really is. But with that said, if something doesn't resonate, just drop it. I mean, you're allowed grace, you're allowed time to think, but you're also too allowed to say, that's not for me. That's just not, no, I'm not gonna do that. Because you can, you're human. And I want you guys to feel that being human has room for mess, has room for mistakes, for imperfection, for being how we come in on a regular basis, which usually isn't, cookie cutter. Like I really do wish we can all be cookie cutter, because then if we are cookie cutter, when everything makes sense, when everything be orderly, when everything just happen in the best, most perfect way possible. But we were not born that way. And very often we're just, oh man, what am I doing here, man? Like, how come I can't get this right, man? Like, this should be easy. Being human should be easy. I'm really sorry. No, no, it's just not. And often what I find myself is, this is my coping strategy, is the podcasting, the writing the articles, everything, you name it. I have a website, check it out down below, where I have articles where I've been writing about the tarot, right? Because the tarot right now is my coping skill, right? And we need coping skills. The research definitely supports it. If you keep at it for about 6 weeks to beyond that, it has more of a beneficial impact on our psyche and our brains and just our wellness and everything. And so we got to keep at it. So, you may think, oh, this is not working. Like, well, have you tried it just for 3 days? Because if you just tried it for 3 days, of course it's not working, or at least it's not yet working fully yet. And that's the hard thing about coping skills, is you got to keep at it. And so thank you for showing up to my coping skill, because everything matters in this world. So feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and check out my other stuff too, right? Because I got Facebook, I post once in a while, right? I do, right? And speaking of coping skills, we're talking about right now, and I repeat stuff because I believe in prayer, I believe in chanting, which means, with chanting, you get back to the center, you get back to the word, to the chants, where you talk about a lot of things on repeat. So sometimes we do talk about things on a repetitive way until things get cemented in, which, right now it's the Empress card right now. We're like, oh, I really want to be the Empress right now. And when I would pull the Empress, I'm like, oh, she's so fancy. Look at her have everything she ever wanted, right? But in order for her to get there, she had to have faith. She had to have faith. And I'll have moments where I'm like, I'll have moments of faith, and then boom, I'll have a moment, like a shaky moment, like, oh my God, oh my God. And I'm like, I should do this, I should do that. This follow a formula, right? It never worked. But hey, we like formulas. We like step-by-step instructions, because the appearance of error prevention feels nice, doesn't it? But faith, sorry if I sound emotional, but it's because I am always emotional. I'm an emotional type of person. And I love the word faith, even though I am not the best at faith. I want to be so good at it. Like, I'm always praying to God. I'm like, God, can you help me? I just don't. I don't get this shit. I really don't get this shit. I don't get it at all. Like, I've been following the lesson plan, and God's like, well, that's kind of part of the lesson plan, right? It's the emotionality of it all and not knowing how to do it. And he's like, that's kind of how it happens, girl. Like, I know you want to be so good at it, but that's not how it works. And I'm like, what are you talking about, man? Like, it should be easy, right? you just, you just, you're letting go of control. And he's like, yeah, how does that feel? I'm like, not good, man. It sucks ass. I'm laughing because it's true. I did an act of letting go of control for 3 hours. And it was torture. It was so painful and exhausting. And when you do that on a regular basis every single day, it's a lot to ask. It really can be. But that's part of faith, right? And I think a lot of people might be like, what are you talking about? The Empress card? That being a symbol of faith? And like, yeah, because she's just sitting. She's just chilling. She doesn't feel like she has to go out there and get something. Bring home the bacon, man. Like, she's like, I am the bacon. That's such a Zen statement right there. I am the bacon. I'm laughing about this too because I need to laugh about it because it feels a little bit better to laugh about it. But I'm also too, like I said, deeply emotional about faith because I'm not, like I said, very good at it. It comes from years of wanting things to make sense. I went for my LMHC track. I went for a psychology degree, and nothing came of it because it was very formula driven, where people told me like, oh yeah, there'll be jobs available, make good money, and then I had this weird aha moment, right, where I said like, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna have an emotional slow death if I go and become an LMHC. I'm not gonna love my life. I'm not gonna. I hate myself one day if I keep pursuing this degree, if I keep doing this. And I dropped out before. A lot of people were telling me to go back to school. A lot of people were telling me a lot of different things about that decision, and I felt it was the best choice, and I still stand by that choice. But that choice required a lot of faith. Everything would be okay. So I had a lot of different experiences. I became a very well-rounded person because of that. I'm really aware of that. I'm truly aware of how much experiences I've had because I decided not to be an LMHC. With that said, though, it's been tough. It's been hard, and a lot of that toughness and hardship that I've experienced is because that after dropping out from my LMHC, I didn't really actually pursue faith where it mattered because I wanted to be a writer, right? What did I do in those 7-8 years? I went and I became a nanny. I went and I became an RBT. I went and I ended up in the school systems. I did a lot of different things. They're so far away from who I was believing myself at, like at a young age supposed to be. I told myself it's going to be a couple of different things. I said I was going to be a better person, a mother, and a writer. Those 3 things were on my list, surprisingly enough. So the podcast is in alignment with all that, right? Because I want to be a better person, right? And writing to me is such a beautiful expression of myself, but it also too helps me feel better, and I think it does help me become a better person. So lucky for that, by the way. But yeah, so the Empress card's hard to put in action, and I don't want you to think that this is always necessarily a how-to. it could be even, like for the tarot, like it can be that. It really can be like how do we see this card in a spread? Because I really want us to learn tarot in a different kind of way. And I am so sorry. Like, I'm probably going to shift this channel to be called the Messy Human Tarot again, because it's always about the tarot lately. It's like always about the tarot. But I like being the Ruby Garnier show because it leaves openness for later on down the road if we're talking something outside the tarot. But like these are constructs, right, that we can get from the tarot. So it's like, well, it's kind of the messy tarot, right? And like, oh, yeah, it really is. And so if you're ever confused, because my old channel was called the Messy Human Tarot, so I do apologize about that. But sorry about all the coughing. I just starting to recover a little bit from being sick. But I want my life to get better. And a coping skill only really works if you consistently do it. Yeah. The Empress. You know what happens right next is the Emperor, right? I mean, they're so... Man. Isn't that the power couple of the century? Yin and the Yang. I mean, she's so receptive. And then the guy, he's the one that like goes on and does all this stuff. But I like that she's so receptive and open and ready. A lot of times, like if you're to pull the Fool card, we have to be ready. We have to be ready for unexpected goodness. She's ready for that. She's like, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the goodness coming my way. Like, let that come in my life. I'm okay with that. And there's no concern or worry about the unexpected negative stuff. Like, she's like, man, I'm not worried about that because I know I can handle it. I know everything's going to work out. I know that everything's going to work out. Like, she's like, I don't need to worry about that. I rather focus on the unexpected good. I rather focus on the good right now, right? She's okay with that, Yeah, we're going to wrap up again, of course, but right now, I'm just trying to rock myself. Oh my God, my rocking chair going. I'm just trying to rock myself so I don't feel so like shitty. I don't have time to think about how shitty I feel. Been a long 2 weeks. Not feeling good. But I really felt, I guess, inspired. A lot about manifestation they talked about is inspiration. Like come from an inspired place. And that's where I'm at right now, even though I feel like shit. So thank you so much for being a blessing on this planet. Really do appreciate it a lot, actually. I know I don't currently have a lot of viewers, but this isn't for viewership. It's for fun. It's for coping skills. And I know that sounds really weird, right? Because we're in an age right now where a lot of people are using their channels for all kinds of different reasons. And those are valid reasons, right? And I totally validate those reasons too. But this is just really, it's like, this is what's keeping me going. And don't feel like you have to be perfect. Don't feel like, the stuff has to make sense, right? Because, like, God keeps, like, I know that sounds crazy, but God keeps saying, like, that's why you came onto this planet, right? Right? Is so you can be comfortable with not understanding or having things make sense. It doesn't have to make sense. I know we like to think it should, but no. Our role in being born as a human being was to get comfortable with the messy of it all. All right, two Lucy's and my meatball to be on mental good health. Bye.